New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
And a very pleasant Friday evening to you here across the United States and also around the world. It is time, once again, for another thrill-packed, fun-filled, and guaranteed edition of the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I am the Reverend Michael Mangus, and I am broadcasting this evening from the Charles Fillmore Secret Radio Room, surrounded by thousands, and I mean thousands of watts, in an extremely secure concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret. Only one person knows where the secret lair is. No one else, especially that Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, who cringes every time I say it, my boss here at NT Media. Especially, he does not know where it's located, and we're going to keep it that way. Again, wonderful show for you tonight. Please feel free to interact with us by posting your comment either on Facebook or on YouTube. And again, all my shy people out there, I know you're out there and you're saying, I don't know if I really want to post anything. You know, just people may not like me. Well, I will like you if no one else will. You can always write me, pastormichaelmangus at gmail.com, pastormichaelmangus at gmail.com. And if there's a news story that you would like us to comment on during the week, again, that's a good email address to send it to, pastormichaelmangus at gmail.com. All right. Purpose of our Friday evening Fireside Chat is to talk about contemporary issues from a new thought / spiritual perspective. And we get our beverage spiked or not. No, this is not spiked this evening with Reverend Jeff's holy water. That's a new brand of whiskey we're going to market here at the New Thought Media Network, Reverend Jeff Radcliffe's Holy Water. But the reason that we have this hour every week, this meeting, is so that we can talk about some serious issues out there in a somewhat humorous fashion, but to make you aware of what's going on. Just hiding your head under a pillow is not going to make the situation that we are under go away. It's with your help. Your help. Yes, your help. that we're going to help get out of this together. And again, it's the combining of consciousness, the combining of awareness, the speaking out about some of these interesting things that are happening in the world. So unfortunately, this week, Reverend Jeff could not make it. So I said to myself, Self, this calls for a superhero. Sometimes you just have to make the call. So through secret channels and encrypted messages from the super secure concrete bunker that I can't even tell you about, I was able to get in touch with Superman. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the great city of Metropolis, here he is, Superman. Right there.
Good evening.
Oh,
What's
my.
up? Yes.
Yes. Disguised as a mild-mannered minister. No, I wouldn't call you mild-mannered. It's my pleasure to introduce all the way from the great state of Delaware, the Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Dr. Anderson is a true Imagineer, bringing his many years of experience being a professional educator, a visual artist, a performer, an American Sign Language interpreter, author, and lover of comics and films to all areas of his life and ministry, which for him extends beyond the church center. And he is an ordained CSL minister, Centers for Spiritual Living minister, and serves as the founding minister and the spiritual director of the Center for Spiritually Integrated Arts, which is a Center for Spiritual Living teaching center. Good evening, Reverend Dr. Raymont. How are you?
Good evening. And one, as always, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. And how am I? Well, all in all, I am doing exceptionally well, considering there is a strong possibility that we are at the brink of. But yes, even with all of the wars and rumors of wars and all of the things, even within that, I am maintaining and doing what I need to do. Because as you said, as you started off, hiding under that pillow and that blanket, even, and I say this very, very lovingly to our New Thought siblings, many of them don't even realize that that's what they're doing. They are hiding behind words and platitudes rather than actually taking it to heart and getting engaged. So I am doing my best to do that for my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, because if I'm not healthy, then I'm no good to anyone. So I'm doing well.
Absolutely.
And you?
Doing well this evening, my friend. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Where is your cape?
Oh, it's cleanings.
Oh, at the cleaners. Okay.
Yeah. Got into the thing with Lex Luthor the other day, and
Yeah.
he puked and blah and
Oh,
like
no.
so, yeah. Yeah.
You're not supposed to eat before you fight.
The heroes know that. The villains apparently don't.
Oh my.
I mean, they're the new thing, apparently, I just found this out from Catwoman. I don't know how that happened, but
Yeah.
she was sharing with me that now all of the super villains love tacos. No comment.
No comment. Let's welcome this evening. Good evening, Tim Davison, who's my radio friend. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Tim.
Sir, to you. All right. So we are celebrating two events here. We are celebrating Juneteenth, which was yesterday, Officially, the Juneteenth National Independence Day is a federal holiday in the United States of America, not liked by 47. He had a few choice words to say about it yesterday. It's celebrated annually on the 19th, June 19th, to commemorate the end of slavery in the United States. The holiday is considered the longest running African American holiday and has been called America's second Independence Day. Juneteenth falls on June 19th and often has been celebrated on the third Saturday in June. Historian Mitch Ketchum notes that the celebrations of the end of slavery have three goals: to celebrate, to educate, and to agitate.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. The day was recognized as a federal holiday in 2021 when the 117th U.S. Congress enacted and President Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day into law. What do you think about that, Reverend Dr. Raymont?
Where to even begin? Just the concept of, so those folks, the enslaved, get set free, but those in Texas don't hear the news. They don't get the good news until 2 years later. Wait a minute. Wait, what? Which just makes me think about how we today still within that realm of, I mean, even those three words, celebrate, educate, and agitate, like we don't disseminate healthy, effective information even today. Like there's so much misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation going around the interwebs and whatnot, that it's like, it almost makes sense that, 2 years later, they found out, oh, wait, we're actually free? Huh. Because it makes me think of how many people today living and moving and going around are still ensnared and enslaved by some consciousness, even those of us in New Thought. It's like,
Right.
But I am glad that we reached a point where at least the president was willing to say, no, this is worthy of having a day to, as a nation, recognize it. Even if you don't celebrate it, fine, because not everybody celebrates Columbus Day, right? Like there are things, not everybody celebrates Christmas. Okay, cool. But we are honoring and we are recognizing a certain point in history so that we can educate, which is one reason why we're talking about getting rid of Columbus Day. Because it's like, should we actually be celebrating him? Well, let's still educate so people understand why we're shifting. So I'm all in. I'm all in.
Well, again, happy Juneteenth to you, my friend. And
likewise.
All my friends out there. Yeah, power to the people. Yes. So we are celebrating also today. We are celebrating solstice, summer solstice, which will be tonight at 10:42 p.m. Eastern Time. The summer solstice occurs when one of the Earth's poles has a maximum tilt towards the sun. It happens twice yearly, one in each hemisphere, northern and southern. The summer solstice is the day with the longest period of daylight and the shortest night of the year in that hemisphere. When the sun is at its highest point in the sky at either pole, though, either northern or summit, or why do I keep saying summit? Northern or southern, there is a continuous daylight at the time of the summer solstice, and the opposite event is the winter solstice. I have one of my show hosts down in Australia who is freezing tonight. She does not like the winters down there. But we do have some spiritual significance to the solstice. The summer solstice holds a deep spiritual significance, representing the triumph of light over darkness and the peak of solar energy. It is a time for celebrating abundance, growth, and inner illumination. The solstice encourages us to embrace our own radiance, align with the transformative power of the sun, and embark on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual awakening.
Amen.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Do we have to?
Do we have to what?
Do we have to go into the news?
I think we don't have to. We don't have to. But
Right.
in order for us to serve the people who are watching now or their future now,
Yeah.
it would probably benefit them to. So I say, let's go for it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, and now the news. From the Spiritual News Network, I'm Reverend Michael and Reverend Ray reporting.
Art Kent on the job.
Oh, where do we begin here? European officials seek to revise and revive the Iran diplomacy as Trump delays decision. U.S. President Donald Trump says he will allow 2 weeks, isn't that generous of him, for diplomacy before deciding whether to launch a strike in Iran. And what is being reported by some news agencies is that included in that strike might be a strategic nuclear weapon. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister says his country is not seeking negotiations with anyone, especially not with the United States, as he meets with European officials in Geneva. Though U.S. officials are skeptical about the talks, a White House official kept the door open to progress. Iran launched a fresh barrage of missiles towards Israel today, with at least one missile striking the northern city of Haifa. This latest attack comes as Iran and Israel traded strikes overnight with no sign of de-escalation in their week-long conflict. The photo that you see there, that is from Iran. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has not ruled out targeting Iran's supreme leader, saying that no one in Iran should have immunity after Israel's defense minister said that the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei cannot be allowed to continue to exist. Your comments, Reverend Dr. Raymont.
Petulant children who have been given the authority to destroy lives is terrifying. Because if we really look at and think about what's at the core, like what's really, so you say somebody, humans, this human has no business continuing to exist. Why? Because just as easily as you say it about them, someone could say it about you.
Right.
Someone probably is saying it about you. So what's really, like, if we really get to the core of, even with all of the things that our current child in office is dictating and legislating, if we get to the core of, like, what is that? And my observation has been all of them, no, not all, the vast majority, all of the ones who have this kind of bravado and are willing to destroy hospitals and launch bombs and even make bombs for the purpose of, we have enough nuclear weapons to destroy the earth 70 times over.
Yes.
Why make more? Just so you have the biggest, okay, whatever. Sociopaths, narcissistic sociopaths who have greed, and if cancer was a human, it would be these people and how they behave.
Yep. This is nuts. Now, I thought, Reverend Dr. Raymont, you being a scholar, I thought that President 47, Donald, I thought that he said no new wars. And we were going to focus on America.
Eggs.
Right. So what is going on here?
Well, one is he actually in charge? Because the whole concept of Project 2025, that's not him. That's been in play. They've been trying to find the right puppet to put in place since Reagan was in office. Yes. That has been an underground, insidious thing since then. So when they find the perfect, you know what? He's malleable. He's not intelligent. He's very childlike. He's very immature. He's very, what's the word I want to use? Sexually enticable. He's very much that kind of, he would be the perfect person for us to control. So it makes me wonder if, and I say this because the Christian nationalist ideology says that their mascot can't return until this war in the Middle East occurs, according to their apocalyptic ideology.
They're talking about the return of Jesus Christ, which they've been looking forward to for how many?
Right.
How many centuries now? Go ahead.
Right. So in the mind of someone who is in that cult of Christian nationalism, if they somehow, which boggles my mind because scripture even says that even Jesus doesn't know that, whatever. Anyhow, they somehow feel like they can manipulate God into saying, well, if we start this, then our mascot, because they don't really follow the teachings of Jesus. Jesus is a head figure and a mascot for them. Jesus is McDonald's. It's just the golden arches for them.
Right.
But they have this ideology that says if we usher this in. So for them and their perfect puppet, war is insignificant to them. And there's a part of their paradigm that feels like it's the narcissism. We're untouchable. We'll be okay. You do realize that if you live in a high rise and there's a fire on the 3rd floor and you live on the 8th, saying, oh, that has nothing to do with, you might not have the smoke yet, but if the fire builds big enough, and it's going to get to you. So for me, we need to be having the conversations for real about diplomacy. Can't simply be about let's just not kill each other. Diplomacy has to actually get to the point where we're saying, how as a global community,
yes,
can we all come together and help you? So Iran, what do you have that we need? And what do you need that we have? How can we support one another? Because then it gets rid of the whole need for bombs and such, because now we understand we are collectively helping one another.
Yes. And Tim has said, he says, we need a common sense, fairness, and kindness movement. Down with the hate and violence. We are now in crazy land. Now, Reverend Dr. Raymont, I know that you are not only a learned man, but you are also a biblical scholar. Now, Jesse Duplantis says that Jesus is not returning yet because the body of Christ has not given enough money for him to return.
Which is proof positive. That is, in essence, in the nutshell, that is why I say for folks like that, Jesus is a mascot. It's about the toxic capitalism. It's not about the gospel of love, compassion, salvation, etc. It's the same thing that Oral Roberts did many years ago. If I don't get such and such $1 million, God gonna call me home. Okay, isn't heaven a good place? So you're making it sound like, and God gonna take you regardless. So, but he raised the money. He raised the money. What did the money go to? Who did it help? Other than you getting a jet and a new house and a new suit, and who did it really help? So yeah, when Christians proclaim this kind of theology, it's terrifying to see how many people are actually in the cult and drink the Kool-Aid.
Right. Well, we do have a peacemaker in the midst here. Bring up her photo. This is Nobel Peace Prize winner Narges Mohammadi. Narges Mohammadi. She calls for the Iran-Israel ceasefire. Mohammadi called for an immediate ceasefire in the conflict between Iran and Israel. In an exclusive video message that was shared with CNN, Mohammadi, who was awarded the 2023 prize for her fight against oppression of women in Iran and her promotion of human rights, recorded the message from a shelter in Iran. She said that residential homes, infrastructure, and critical facilities of the people in these cities and countries are being bombed and destroyed. In the days when I was in Tehran, we didn't even have a shelter to go to. Even at night, when we wanted to go to the metro, that is the station, the doors of the metros were closed. Now, the Iranian government have told the residents of Tehran that the metro stations would be open 24/7 to act as safe shelters from Israeli bombardment. Tehran is not a city where you can prevent the killing of people who have nowhere to shelter with one evacuation order, Mohammadi said, referring to the evacuation orders issued for parts of the capital by the Israeli Defense Forces in the middle of the night. Mohammadi also appeared and also appealed directly to U.S. President Donald Trump in a message, asking him not to join this war and to pursue a ceasefire instead. Now, again, Reverend Dr. Raymont, I thought this was the peace president. I had a neighbor put on his Trump sign next door to get rid of all the riffraff in Washington, to stop all the wars.
Yes,
I
but
thought this was going to be the peace president.
Yes, we missed the memo, though. We were thinking world peace, peace within the nation. He's referring to, or what he was referring to, was peace on the golf course.
Oh,
he wants peace on the golf course, so he has free reign to continue to cheat and win. We missed that memo. That's what it is. Because it sure as heck ain't showing up anywhere else.
Reverend Dr. Raymond, are you accusing the president of the United States of cheating in golf this evening on our worldwide broadcast?
No, I'm not. People who have played him have said, they have said,
yes,
he cheats all the time.
Okay.
Just like folks who were on Saturday Night Live with him said he can't read, which is why he was always, anytime, because, you know, they use cue cards. And anytime they bring up the cue cards, can I improv my line and say what I want to say? They're like, no, read what's on the card. And he wouldn't do it. He would get somebody else. How would you read this? And then they read it, and then he'll repeat what they read. So I'm not saying, I'm simply reporting what I have heard other trustworthy professionals say themselves.
Now, are you saying that he did not win that country club championship a few weeks ago?
I don't believe so. No. We already know that there are a whole lot of things within government that can be bought, Hollywood that can be bought, etc. We already know that there's a lot of stuff that money and prestige can buy, such as the presidency. Because if this was a legitimate job, for example, you mentioned earlier the realm of radio professionals.
Okay.
If somebody walked in and wanted to be a DJ, and it's, we are at WKRP Cincinnati, just for the sake of conversation, and
My favorite
your
station.
interview, and right, and I'm the one who wants to get the job, and you're interviewing me, and you say, like, what's one of the questions you might ask me to interview me for a job to be the nightly DJ?
Well, I would ask you your radio experience.
Oh, I don't have any experience at all. I have a radio.
Oh, you do?
I have one. I listen to it every day.
Oh, okay. Real good.
Right.
And you also talk like that too.
Right, yeah. Right. Now, see, even the way you say, oh, that's real good. Like, you even caught in that, oh, wow, there's no way. How do I tell this person politely, you're not qualified for this job? Whatever job he would apply for, he's not qualified for. He has demonstrated he's not qualified to run a casino. He's not qualified to run a hotel. He's not qualified to run a college. He's not qualified in real estate. He's demonstrated he is not qualified in many realms of, and yet the highest office in the United States of America, he got how? Popularity.
Yes.
People know him because he's famous. If he were not famous, he would have had no chance at all. And Vance would still be laying on his sofa.
They're trying to get a hold of me here. I think this is the Pentagon.
Okay. Uh-oh.
we may have ticked somebody off here. I don't know.
Oh.
No, it's my lawn guy wondering when he's going to get paid. Okay, so I'm going to say I'm on the air. Okay, I will pay you. Should I say on Tuesday?
Go for it.
No, I will pay you later.
I would gladly pay you Tuesday for the lawn cutting today.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break. And then we'll be back with interesting stories like the No King organizers set next protest date. The White House called June 14th an utter failure.
I'd agree.
And we on their end.
Yeah.
On their end. And we'll be right back with Superman in the form of mild-mannered Minister Dr. Raymont Anderson. He'll be right back here in just a few moments. Well, hi there. This is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. And it's good to have everyone with us this evening. And coming up this coming Sunday, we are going to have a wonderful service at Summit CSL, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, who's currently online. And for more information, you can go to that website, summitcsl.org. And there you will get more information about our Zoom call. You can join us Sunday mornings, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, whatever wakes you up, and come join us. It's a great service. And this Sunday, for our summer solstice, we are having speaker New Thought Media Network superstar and known to raise good trouble, the Reverend Michael Mangus. So go to summitcsl.org for more information about our wonderful Sunday service coming up this week. All right. Time for us to go to break and for me to write back to my lawn guy that I will pay him. At the top of the hour, this is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
Welcome to the Convention of the Americas 2025, Rising Together. Join us for a truly bilingual retreat experience on the shores of the beautiful Lake Chapala, Mexico. July 22nd through July 26th, 2025, at the Hotel Villa Monte Carlo in Jalisco, Mexico. Featuring Reverend Jeffrey Ryan, Dr. Jose de Lira Sosa, Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis, Reverend Dr. John Waterhouse, and Reverend Dr. David Bruner. Registration is now open, and payment plans are available. Simply visit www.conventionoftheamericas.com. Come be part of a transformative gathering with powerful presentations, workshops, networking time, and just good old relaxing and connecting. Plus, you can learn more about the science of mind and how to live this powerful philosophy in your life. Transform your life at Convention of the Americas 2025, Rising Together.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
With my friend and also colleague, the Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, who is also Superman. Sometimes you just have to call in.
Sometimes.
Heavy hitters. All right.
Sometimes.
Now, back to the news. The No Kings organizers set the next protest date, but the White House, they said that June 14th, with all of the No Kings protests around the country, which have been guesstimated anywhere between 5 and 12 million participants, that they were an utter failure. A coalition of organizations behind the nationwide No Kings protest and now announced another day of action under the name Good Trouble Lives On. In a June 16th call, organizers debriefed on the event of June 14th, where the American Civil Liberties Union says that more than 5 million people turned out across 2,100 communities in the United States. The protest fell on Trump's 79th birthday. Now, wasn't that nice? All these people going out there and just celebrating Trump's birthday. I think it was the opposite. And coincided with the Army's 250th anniversary parade in Washington, D.C. Did you see parts of that? See, what he wanted was all of the soldiers in goose step.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He wanted them all marching in cadence.
Mm-hmm.
And when some of them didn't, and some of them thought it was a big joke, which it was, he goes ahead and he calls the Secretary of Defense and says, and chews him out.
Mhm.
Why didn't these soldiers take this seriously?
Mhm.
So Barbara Arnwine with the Transformative Justice Coalition said on the call, "Where do we go from here?" is a famous line from a Dr. King speech. And where do we go from here is July the 17th. We are going to make good trouble because good trouble lives on. And we will not stop until we win. No kings, no tyrants, and no despots. And good trouble is a term that was coined by the late Congressman John Lewis. And July 17th will mark 5 years since his death, the movement's website states. As are people protesting more than usual? Well, there were jaw-dropping numbers planned on Trump's birthday. But the White House called the No Kings protest a complete and utter failure. The communications director of the White House, Stephen Chung, says that the so-called No Kings protest have been a complete and utter failure with a minuscule attendance. It is sad. Democrats and liberals would rather support criminals and illegals instead of celebrating the 250th anniversary of our great U.S. Army and Flag Day. But many more Americans are commemorating our brave military men and women who have given the utmost sacrifice and those who continue to serve our country. Let's take a look at another photo here. All right. So the top is the military parade in Washington, D.C. All in favor of fascism and those opposed. And those crowds were not only in Chicago, but also around the country.
Mhm.
They had, again, a guesstimated 5 million to 12 million people that were out saying, no kings here. This whole idea of holding a military parade on your birthday, and he slept through most of it.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Your comments, Reverend Dr. Raymont.
Several things. One, did you know that no one, the White House, no one said anything about king? No one said, why would you call it that? He's not trying to be a king. No one challenged king. Why not? Because in their minds, it's synonymous. Like, we know that this is what you mean. We know that that's who you're talking about. We're not even going to challenge the term. That's number one. Number two, history has an amazing way of showing us things. So North Korea has a long celebrated history of birthdays with their nation's leaders, large-scale military parades and such. The Soviet
With
Union,
missiles.
Joseph, right, and missiles. Joseph Stalin, Saddam Hussein, Mao Zedong, like we've got Adolf Hitler. We've
Yes.
got more than enough. So if it quacks like a duck,
Yeah.
walks like a duck, eats
Yeah.
like a duck,
Okay.
has the internal organs of a duck,
Right.
don't tell me it's a cat. So we see what he's emulating. And to say that he's all pro-military and let's go back in the time machine to a certain time in history when a gentleman by the name of John McCain was called a loser because for a certain period of time was a prisoner of war.
Mm.
Why would Donald Trump refer to this man knowing Donald Trump didn't? Why not? Oh, you say bone spurs. Is that even a thing that he actually has? Or has he gotten a doctor once again to sign his note? Because we know money can do it. It's done it with his physique. How do you give this man a 100% clean bill of health? Say that he's 6 foot something and wait, there's no way in high heaven
Yes.
that this matches. When they showed this football player or this basketball player, they're 6'2". You're saying he's 6'2"? Look at them side by side. You're saying that his weight, and he's in what kind of physical shape? It doesn't match. There's no way that this man doesn't have high blood pressure and whatnot, but neither here nor there. He cannot respect the military if he's calling John McCain a loser. He's pumping up the military because there's something in it for him.
Mm-hmm.
If we look back in history and follow him all the way through, when he talks bad about someone until it benefits him,
Mm-hmm.
put someone down until it benefits him. He's done this with people like Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz and all of the other bootlickers. He's done it with many of them. They're this, until now. I need you now, so we're friends or we're whatever. He's never apologized for any mistakes, any wrongdoings. We could go back as far as the Central Park 5 when he took out a full-page ad to have children executed, and has never, even when they were exonerated, has never said, maybe I was wrong. Nothing. There is no way that we're going to say that this event was to honor the military. If that was the case, then don't put your name in it at all. Don't say it's with my birthday at all. Separate the two and say we're going to honor the military on Monday and I'm having a birthday thing on Saturday. Bring cake and balloons because I love cake and balloons. Then do that versus putting them together.
Many of his cabinet before took him aside and said, Mr. President, this gives wrong optics.
Right. Yep.
We don't do these kind of military parades in the United States. Did you see the exchange between Senator Cruz and Tucker Carlson the other evening?
Yep.
That was interesting. So Ted Cruz is being asked by Tucker Carlson, do you know how many people are in Iran? Do you know how many people support the Ayatollah? He was asking very basic questions. And he said, Carlson said, how you're going to bomb these people and you have no idea how they live.
Yep. Which once again demonstrates the concept of psychopathy, because the psychopath doesn't care. The psychopath simply says, once that aspect of what we used to call a sociopath, once that aspect has kicked in, the Jeffrey Dahmers, the Ted Bundys, the Adolf Hitlers, once that has kicked in, I don't even see I don't see the Jews as human anymore. That's why I can put them in the ovens. I don't see my followers, Jim Jones, as people anymore. That's why I can either convince them to drink the Kool-Aid, force them to drink the Kool-Aid, and when they don't drink it, inject it or shoot them, because I don't see them as people.
Right.
Koresh, we can burn down because my followers don't mean anything to me truly. We see it through all of this. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. Cruz doesn't care.
Folks, we're making you aware of this. And yes, we are laughing at it. However, that we want to inform you that this stuff is going on. and that you have the power here to join the rest of us to tell these individuals no more. And the best way that we are going to throw these people out of office is next year. Now, let's not wait for that. Let's keep stirring up good trouble here. But this is not all about consciousness. And again, I think that that's the reason why we have individuals in New Thought saying, well, I'll just go home and pray. Or why are you and Reverend Dr. Raymont talking that way? Aren't you perpetuating the situation? No, we're saying enough's enough here. Okay, we're saying enough's enough. We are working in consciousness, and that it requires also outer action. Treat and move your feet. Reverend Dr. Raymont.
So a couple of people have said such silliness to me before, to which I have said, so when you're hungry, do you just sit and pray? Remember that time you had to go into the hospital because you sprained your ankle? Why did you go to the hospital? Why'd you go? Why didn't you just pray? It's fascinating that when it comes to certain things, Tupperware theology, people will put the peas in one thing and the carrots in the other and the corn in the other so they can't touch.
Right.
Because God forbid they touch. If we are going to actually embody the teachings of New Thought, then we have to get off of our New Thought high horse and recognize that consciousness started all of this.
Yes.
The beliefs and the paradigms started all of this.
Yep.
Et cetera, et cetera. Now, I would ask one of these folks who says, just pray, just whatever. So if you were sitting in a park and a van rolled up and started firing, a mass shooting, would you simply go into prayer? Or would you grab your grandchild and dive on the ground and attempt to protect and shield their body? So then you know how to move when you need to move. If your house is on fire, do you dial 911? Why did you dial 911 and not GOD? Did you dial GOD first and then 911? Or, why did you leave the house? Why didn't you just continue to sit in your bedroom and say, dear Heavenly Father, who art in heaven, yada, 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 new thought, new thought, new thought, God is me, and da-da-da. Please extinguish. I don't have to say please. Extinguish the fire. It's not out. Extinguish the fire. It's not out. It's getting closer. My feet are getting hot. Extinguish. You leave. Why? Because the fire is dangerous. When there's a threat of tornado, do you continue jogging down the street? No, you take shelter. So you understand that there are conditions that need to be addressed in a particular way with action.
Absolutely.
We need to be doing the same thing with this. Lives literally are at stake. People are right now, dying in the Middle East, in Gaza, in the Congo, and elsewhere. Literally, lives are ending. And we're busy twiddling our metaphysical thumbs, simply saying, we send thoughts and prayers.
No, and I think the reason being is because that we shouldn't be talking about politics at our centers. And what I'm telling you here this evening, what I'm sharing with you, is that ministers have a long line of being prophetic, of calling this BS out, of calling truth to power. For us, for myself and Raymont, not to comment on this horrific condition that we're seeing a parallel between Nazi Germany and today, and you're telling us to shut up? Ain't going to happen. Not on this minister's watch and not on that minister's watch. Ain't going to happen. we are going to bring this to you to tell you that the one thing that they want to frighten you about is that you don't have power. My friend, that is a total lie. You have the power. And how you have the power is by your voice. Yes, I agree that we should, again, work in consciousness. I agree with that. And also to take action. As Raymont says, how can I go to sleep at night when I know that children in the Congo are starving because U.S. aid, they cut it off. They just cut it off. Your comments, Reverend Dr. Raymont.
It's attributed to Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi said, those who say religion has nothing to do with politics don't know what religion is. Now, when people say we shouldn't be talking about politics, what we're specifically talking about is how the people who are in these political positions, our elected leaders, are creating policies that hurt people.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about. And if these policies, it wouldn't matter if they were Republican, Democratic, Independent, the Green Party, the XYZ Party, it wouldn't matter. When wrong is wrong, it's wrong.
Yes.
And folks such as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Bishop Barber, there are many people in theology now. And then, in fact, if we were to go back, once we're doing a lot of going back in time and look at the civil rights movement right after what could have easily been a massacre on the Pettus Bridge, the second march, look at how many clergy marched. Why were they there? Was this not a political statement? Clearly it was, or Dr. King would have never been marked by Hoover, as there wouldn't have been a file and. We are not talking about specific things within politics, this, that. It has nothing to do with which side of the aisle, truthfully. It has to do with what these individuals are putting into policy and law and what they are doing that is hurting the environment, hurting children, hurting women, hurting men, hurting veterans, and hurting other countries and their people. That's why we speak out.
Yes. And we want to say, again, to Tim, to me, the most disturbing thing about DT is not his behavior. The unnerving thing is how many everyday citizens drank the Kool-Aid and voted for him and wildly support him even today. I think that that's turning here, and it does not take a whole lot of folks to be able to do this. Again, that I believe things are turning. We need to take back our power here. We need to vote these individuals who are destroying the United States of America and your rights, especially the right of free speech. We need to get these people out of office, and that we need to be putting in candidates that, again, that are pro-people. Again, Raymont and I are not saying, the Democrats are perfect. They're not. But they're the closest thing that we have right now to be able to put some stability back in this country here.
Right.
So we are down to 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Your final comments, Reverend Anderson.
My final comments, I'm going to simply read the affirmation that I wrote for today's Science of Mind Daily Guides.
Yes.
I choose to accept both the responsibility and accountability to do what is mine to do. I serve, I lead, I volunteer, and I create whatever spirit as me chooses.
And you can order the Science of Mind magazine. Yes, all during this month. Oh, I wanted to wish you a happy Pride also.
Thank you very much.
I didn't do that. We usually have an LGBTQ story once in a while, but tonight, man, I'll tell you what, this has been just a fire hose of craziness this week.
Yes.
And so again, yes, we pray for peace. We know we keep the high watch, and we put our boots on the ground and keep moving forward here. I love the meme where they have a fish with a Donald Trump hairdo, and he's chasing after the fish. And then what happens is that all the fish together start chasing after DT. Again, all these politicians, they want to take away your power. Don't give it to them. You are powerful beyond measure here, and that's what we're telling you here today.
If you weren't, they wouldn't try to silence you.
That's right. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Well, thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
And from fourth grade.
What?
Deb and I have known each other for years.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Deb, send me an email and tell me some stories about things that Pastor Mangus did. I need to know. Send me some gossip.
Are you going to be on my ordination panel next year?
I don't know how that happens.
Now, you know what? I've told folks, one of the things that they warn you about at home office for CSL is they say, watch your social media post.
Oh, yeah.
And I say, okay. So I try not to cuss and swear.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
I work on not getting into arguments with MAGAs.
Yes.
However, that I do post things to be able to start breaking through this race consciousness. That and again, the reason I know this is because I've seen people, they call it deconstruction.
Yeah.
Where they go ahead, they have beliefs, fundamentalist or evangelical beliefs. And then what happens is some things come up that don't make sense.
Yep. Been there, done that. Yes.
Yes. So what happens is that's when the dike starts to crumble. So to keep it in front of our evangelical, fundamentalist, Christian nationalist, MAGA friends, and say, listen, if you're my friend here, you're going to hear this on Facebook or whatever social media that I use.
Yes.
And if you don't like it, unfriend me.
Yes. For me, it just real quick, since I know we're going, the television show, which What Would You Do? And I can't think of the name of the host. I think it's John something, but they set up scenarios and watch the people observing the things. And sometimes people don't speak up. Like I remember one particular one where it was a father who was acting as though he had had too much to drink, and he's getting his kids and putting them in a car. And so many people are walking by rather than saying, he has no business driving. Like he's sloppy drunk. And it boggles my mind that we see what's going on and we don't get involved the way we could. As Deb said, do not go quietly into the night. Rage against. Stand up and speak out. Frederick Douglass said, I prayed for freedom for 25 years, and I did not get it until I prayed with my feet.
Absolutely. Reverend Dr. Raymond, thanks for being here on our program, and let's have you on a little more and not wait so long between visits here. So Again,
Let
thank
me
you, my
come in.
friend, for being here
My
this
pleasure,
evening,
my
and thank you for your comments. And we're out of here. We are all out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so very much for joining us this evening. We appreciate you so much. And again, thank you for watching. Please like us. Please share us. Please, especially your friends in Unity and Divine Science and Centers for Spiritual Living, Religious Science, independent churches, your friends that go there, please share this message with them. We are, again, saying that we need to be speaking truth to power here. All right? All right. Time for us to go. Again, thank you so very much for joining us this evening. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, I am Reverend Michael Mangus, and I'm going to wish you a very pleasant good night and a great week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.